Good morning. It is Saturday, the 5th of November, 2022. If you've not watched before, I'm Andy. This is Four Priests Brewery. And I say that because today's video is a little bit different, and I expect we may get some viewers that perhaps haven't followed us along. We've had a YouTube channel for about a year and 1 day to be precise. 4th of November last year, the first video went up, showing the process of creating a small brewery, a nano brewery, from absolutely nothing to a working brewery that's producing beer every week. We started to actually sell beer in May, so 5 months ago-ish. So far, 12,000 pints sold. We have 13 bars and pubs that have bought from us so far. A number of those are repeating now every week. And the YouTube channel's generating anywhere between 1,000 and 2,500 views per week. So, you know, no YouTube play button on the wall just yet, but you know, a very loyal bunch of subscribers and followers, and I appreciate your viewing, and I appreciate every comment that you send through as well. The questions that I get on a regular basis, you know, about the beer or availability of bottles and cans and all things that we're working towards, but a number of the questions that we get are regarding the cost of certain things that we've done. And I think there are quite a few people watching this who have an intention or a plan or a dream to set up a small brewery. What I'm going to share today is what it cost us. And I can't say that your costs will be the same, but you know, to get from that initial concept idea, the good fortune that we had in the first instance to find the kit, through to brew day one, what did it cost us to get this place to a level where we were legally able to produce alcohol and sell it? And I'll explain every part of that in terms of the cost breakdown today. So by the end of this episode, you'll know what we paid. So if you're going to hire in resource, contractors, consultants, it's going to get super pricey. Some of these numbers, 50k, 100k, 250k, that are published as the cost of setting up a brewery. Once you start reading further, that you know, it's about hiring in expertise to get the best possible job done. You know, we didn't have that luxury. We just didn't have the funds available to cover that. So you have to become an engineer. You know, I'm not an engineer. I do spreadsheets and presentations and PowerPoint. But you got to go learn some skills. There's plenty of resource out there if you get stuck. You know, I've got friends who happen to be electricians, plumbers, contractors. They offered some of their time for free, but equally, you know, I wasn't really prepared to draw from that resource very often. You know, I didn't want to take for granted their generosity. If I could learn how to do something and do it myself, then I felt much better about that. You know, consuming their time is one thing that I don't have, and consuming their time with freebies for me, it's just not the way I wanted to do it. So I needed a project for the weekends. I needed to learn some skills, plumbing skills particularly, you know, general building and DIY skills I kind of had, but you know, as most of my family will tell you, my DIY is not the prettiest. It's functional, right? And that was good enough for here. And you've got to be resourceful, not afraid of challenging problems. It's easy to see something and think, I've got no idea how to fix that problem, and run away from it or pay someone else to do it. Solving those problems has been the most fun part of this thing, actually. I've learned a huge amount. And we don't only want a penny, you know. We've not had to stretch into extended finances to pay for contractors. We had a quote for running the power cable from the consumer unit or the distribution board to the sub panel here, and it was £500, which doesn't sound like a lot. If you've got tens of thousands of pounds worth of budget, you could probably do it, but we didn't. And I spent 2 days pulling that cable through. I researched it online, how it needed to be mounted, the distance between the clips, the type of clips. What I didn't do is wire it into the panel. You know, that's where we needed a qualified person who was able to do that and certify it and sign it off. But a lot of the grunt work, the heavy stuff, digging the holes in the floor, we've just done it ourselves with some help from willing friends and family. And I really appreciate the time that everybody's put in to support us in some of these little jobs that we've done. So let's start with the premises. 500 square feet, industrial unit, roller door, but that's about it. There was no water. The electrics came into the panel. It's a 3-phase supply, but everything beyond the panel we've had to do. So the premises cost £500 a month for 5 months for the rental on the building itself. Insurance was £48 a month for 5 months, £240. And we also weren't quite quick enough with the conversation with the local council about rates, so we got hit with a £75 one-off charge. Total £2,816. So the floor drain costs. Plastic channel was £109. Concrete and skip hire was £151. We hired a road saw and a jackhammer, came to £183. Total to get the floor drain in, £443. So the totals for the cold room, wood and insulation, £564. The remote chiller, £300. The glycol and the heat dump for outside, £361. Total, £1,225. So we had some tools anyway, but we did need a couple of bits that we needed to buy specifically. We bought a cheap little welder, £90. I needed some pipe cutters, £40. And wire strippers. There was a lot of wire stripping going in here at one point, £31. So total on tools, £161. So the fit out cost for all the stuff, table and sink, £250. The alarm was £129. Safety equipment, fire extinguisher, eye wash, £34. And then all the other stuff, toilet seat, ladder, screws, cable ties, buckets, tapes, tubs, wood, lots of wood, £814. Total fit out, £1,230. So legal things, company formation, which we did through the accountant, £234. Personal alcohol license, including training and application fees, £129. Premises license, wow, premises license. Most of this was advertising costs because you've got to do public notices. But in order to have the premises licensed for the sale of alcohol, £433. And we needed to do some training and get some qualification for HACCP, for hazard analysis, and to create a plan, and food hygiene. The training alone for those was £60. So the total for the legal requirements, £623. So electrical stuff, all the little panels that we've built and controllers, the inkbirds everywhere, and new heating elements in the copper, altogether came to £933. So the plumbing stuff, the 2 Clark pumps, £141. The hygienic pump, the brewing pump, £326. The water heater on the wall, as opposed to the copper, was £182. We bought the high temperature hoses, the Brewflex hose, the red and the blue hoses. It came to £282. Rather than a vent stack on the roof, we chose to use a steam extraction device, which was self-made. The parts for that cost £108. And then RJT fittings everywhere. You know, you see them on everything. It's the standard fitting that's used on all of the tanks. For all of those fittings cost £589. So the total for plumbing, £1,628. So for measurement, HMRC approved hydrometers, £176. Digital thermometer, £82. pH tester, £20. And water profile testing, so we can work out what water additions we need to put in, came to £30. So that's the subtotal so far, £9,367. It does not include any brewing tanks. We were lucky. We got the starter kit, essentially, 1 mash tun, 1 copper, 1 fermenter. We got for precisely £0. So that's the subtotal. What about the tanks? Fermenter 3 in the corner we bought from Elusive, from Andy Parker. That, including VAT, delivered £1,036. Fermenter 2, 327 litres, we got used from Tom's Tap and Brew House in Crewe, Sean Ayling. We paid £500. We built the hot liquor tank ourselves. We bought a tank, 600 litre tank from Polsinelli in Italy. And then obviously with some additional costs to put holes in it and fittings on it, came to £875. Raining. So they're the additional tanks, HLT, 1,000 litre tank, and the other 2-barrel fermenter that we bought. But the initial kit that we got, the mash tun, the copper, boil kettle, and fermenter 1. I've got a rough idea of the cost of those if you were to buy them rather than inherit them like we did. I bought and subsequently sold an identical mash tun to this one, which we had also off Sean at Tom's Tap, and for that we paid £200. Obviously for fermenter 2, I know we paid £500 for that second hand from Sean. Fermenter 1 is, I mean, they look slightly different heights, they're not, they're identical underneath the wood. So that's £500. The boil kettle, I'm not 100% sure about. I mean, essentially it's the same amount of steel as a fermenter, obviously with some heating elements in it as well, and depending whether it comes with a controller. But I've seen those for about £1,000 second hand, the same style as that one. So our actual spend, £11,778. If you did have to buy a mash tun, 2-barrel Grundy style, 2-barrel Grundy style copper, and another 2-barrel fermenter, if you needed to buy those, I reckon it's probably £1,700 to £2,000. Let's call it £1,700. That gives us a total of £13,478. So for that investment, what can we make with this kit? If we pushed it, given the spare time available, as you know, it's a weekend thing for us. If we could do 6 brews a month on a 2-week rotation in each tank, fermenter 1 would give us 2 times 327 litres. Fermenter 2 is the same, 2 times 327 litres. Fermenter 3 will give us 2 times 818 litres. That's the theoretical capacity that we have for that investment. So that's the number, our number, 13,500 approx, less the cost of the kit that we got for £0. Certainly 11.5 is the actual spend. And we're comfortable with that. We've not had to borrow or extend or put any security up for loans and finance. And we're in a position now where we are producing beer, 4 brews a month, and currently selling 32 to 40 casks of beer per month to the local pubs that we supply. So that's it. If you want to know any more, drop me an email. The address is on the website, or put a comment below. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. I hope this has been of some use. If it has, I'm happy to have been able to help. If not, well, get on and watch the next video. Cheers.